Hi, growth and comfort do not coexist. This is one of the quotes that go very well with the people in today's show. There is a word in new age world and it's called disruptor. And in the next half hour, you see some of them right here. I'm Atika Farooqui. चलिए प्रारंभ की शुरुआत करते हैं. This week is Faraaz by Hansal Mehta, which is a neatly made crash course in why not to engage with extremism, a film of clash between ideologies. The life and cinema of Nandita Das. I take you to the house of this achiever and show you the fun side behind the intellectual. And Natu singer Kaala Bhairava talks about Oscar nomination for this song from RRR and being the singing voice of JR NTR. Now, let's talk about this week's release, Faraaz. Many years ago, when 9/11 had happened, I was in college and preparing for a competition. That day was horrific and extremely disgusting. The world reframed the word terrorism. One of the first poems that I wrote was a poem on this subject. And it went like this. चला वो मोमिन बांधे कफन, कत्ल की शक्ल में लाने अमन, हाथों में चाबुक, सीनों में जलन, तू है बदनाम, तेरा खुदा नहीं हाफिज. जग सारा बैरी हुए हैं जलील, कोई नहीं सुनता अब मेरी दलील. मजलूम मेरा मजहब, चैन अब हराम, ये तेरा है काम, तेरा खुदा नहीं हाफिज. Hansal Mehta's yet another soul-stirring film knocks at this uncomfortable world of killing in the name of religion. The world of Muslims has been sharply divided due to the rise of killings in the name of jihad and extremism with the chant of the Almighty. This film is a clash between the minority that has picked guns and the majority that wants and has looked squarely in the face and in the eyes of the terrorists and dissociated themselves from them. It may be called clash between the good Muslim that some terrorists might call themselves as they turn violent to avenge the death of people who they share surnames with but have never met, and the people who have been fighting against violence when it's done with the chanting of a religious phrase. Hansal Mehta makes the viewer extremely uncomfortable by going into such gory details of extremism that you come out not just angry at them but also angry at yourself. For why did you take so long to condemn and stand up against those who kill in the name of religion? Bigotry is confronted here by people who protect the flame of the same faith that could and should guide the young out of the morass of prejudice. Steering clear of sensationalism, the story is set in just one night in July of 2016 when Bangladesh came to a screeching halt as 5 misguided youths hold many hostages in a high-profile restaurant in the capital Dhaka with guns. But as the gloomy and suffocating night unfolds, we see that these are just bullies who have little idea of how all of this will lead to the supremacy of one religion with machine guns. Faraaz Hussain, the privileged child of an influential family whom the leader of the militant pack, Nibras, knows very well. But Faraaz decides not to leave behind his friends. The conversation between these two boys makes the crux of the story and the discourse itself. Outstandingly performed by Zahan Kapoor and Aditya Rawal, I was seething with anger and disgust throughout the film. It's not for the faint-hearted really. Written by Raghav Kakkar, Ritesh Shah and Kashyap Kapoor, it's tackling the issue head-on without inciting hatred or playing to the gallery. It's the screenplay that's the hero. Sometimes stretchy, it does hold you tight into the night of fear and disgust. The bureaucracy, the layers in the police forces and the problems they face within, a lot has been dealt with quite patiently. Faraaz's mother, impeccably played by Juhi Babbar, represents a highly educated, English-speaking, caring mother of 2 well-raised boys whose father is apparently a big name in the higher layers of bureaucracy but still can't do a thing about the night. This is the good Muslim that suffers to death because of the killings of the bad Muslim who have been doing it without knowing the repercussions of their evil sins. I don't believe in binaries, but for the first time, it made sense to me. Yes, it is a binary. There is a clear divide. I came out knowing that terrorism and extremism needs to be condemned openly without any fear, or this is the world that we will breathe into a few decades later. I think the statement and the point that director Hansal Mehta is trying to drive in has been very clearly conveyed. Moving on, Nandita Das's films like Fire, Bawandar, 1947, Earth, and her directorials, Firaaq and Manto, have earned her a reputation of being a highly intellectualized filmmaker who uses social discourses in all her films and work. But do you know that this girl has a fun side to her that's quite unknown? In the promotion of Zwigato, her next film with the celebrated comedian Kapil Sharma, by the way, this pairing is quite unique. Huh? We also talk about how is it being a filmmaker in today's times, how is it being a single mom amid a workaholic world, and the space of your own in a hectic world. कहते हैं कि your reputation precedes you. When you walk into a room, what's the understanding of you that people already have, the ones who have not met you before?
I think mostly, I mean, even journalists who've come to interview me, sometimes they say, अच्छा आप तो बड़ी नॉर्मल है। तो मैंने कहा क्यों, मतलब आपने क्या सोचा था मेरे 2 सींग निकले हुए हैं? कहते नहीं, मैं ऐसे सोच के आई, मुझे डर लग रहा था कि आप ऐसे बड़ी इंटेलेक्चुअल टाइप होंगी, बड़ी सीरियस होंगी, पता नहीं कुछ डांट ना दें। मैंने कहा अरे मेरे बारे में ऐसी अफवाहें कौन फैला रहा है? सो आई थिंक इट्स जस्ट अ परसेप्शन। जैसे अगर मैं किसी फिल्मी उसमें चली जाऊँ तो उनको भी ऐसे लगता है कुछ बड़ा चश्मा वश्मा भी अब आ गया है तो और भी ज़्यादा
बुक्स की बातें करती हूँ
कि हाँ, मुझे पूछते हैं कि आपने पिछले साल में कौन सी किताबें पढ़ी? तो मैं कहती हूँ मैंने एक भी नहीं पढ़ी। हाँ, झूठ बोल रही हैं आप। ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है, नंदिता दास किताब ना पढ़े। तो मैंने कहा अच्छा, मतलब आपको ज़्यादा पता है मेरे बारे में। सो आई थिंक एक परसेप्शन होता है, हम लोग लेबल कर देते हैं कि आपकी फिल्में तो मतलब जो कोई नहीं देखता वैसी फिल्में आप बनाती हैं जो बोरिंग होती हैं, मतलब यू नो दे हैव अ सेंस की पता नहीं वो कुछ अलग स्ट्रेटोस्फीयर पे है। इंसान लोगों की कहानी है भाई, इट्स दे आर ह्यूमन स्टोरीज। आप देखने की थोड़ी हिम्मत करें तो शायद आपको पता चले कि क्या है।
बट व्हेन यू हैव such an intense intellectual perception about you, how do men see you? What kind of men do you attract?
I don't know, all kinds, I guess. I mean, now with age, with budhapa, I think they think of me as this neat package कि ठीक ठाक दिखती है, ठीक ठाक अक्ल है और बोलती थोड़ा authentic type लगती है. I mean, I think strong women, men don't know how to handle it fully. I mean, of course, I'm generalizing. Men भी तो बड़ी चौड़ी category है, you know. Yeah, just as we are. That is, they definitely know they are half the world's population, but they think they rule the whole world. वो अलग बात है.
And what kind of men does an intellectual, smart, accomplished woman like?
Oh God, don't ask me these questions.
It's a big discussion, Nandita. There are so many single women out there, single moms.
Yeah, and they are single for a reason, but Atika.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, where are those wonderful men? Abhi, of course, we want to also check too many boxes.
Yeah.
अच्छा मतलब कुछ उसके आँखें अच्छी हों, you know, मतलब जो हंसे तो लगे कि दिल से और आँखों से हंस रहा है, authentic हो. सबसे ज़्यादा तो मेरे लिए ज़रूरी है कि वो असली इंसान हो, but I'm not second guessing that person. कि इनके साथ बात कर रहे हैं तो कुछ और है, उनके साथ बात कर रहे हैं तो कुछ और है, हमारे साथ कुछ और है. In fact, to judge a person, you have to see how they talk to others, because they have a reason to be nice to you, or they have no reason to not be nice to you. I'm quite enjoying being single. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel the need for a partner. कभी कभार जरूर लगता है that you know अच्छा कोई हो जिसमें सर कंधे पे रख के, हाँ, या किसी के बारे में वेंट करे, गुस्सा कंधे पे सर रखना,
कंधे पे सर, किसी के कंधे पे सर रख के मैं
नहीं, चलो घुटने पे रख देंगे, कहीं भी रख देंगे, मतलब हाथ पे रख देंगे, कहीं भी
कंधा चाहिए,
एक कुछ हल्का सा टच, you know, that it's very comforting.
It's biological, it's psychological, and
yeah, like if you're very vulnerable और कोई आपके सर पे बस हाथ ऐसे फैला दे तो you feel like it's good. Overall, I don't feel a need as much to kind of lean on or do all of that. I mean, I'm enjoying my friendships actually.
Yeah. But you know, Juhi once said to me, be careful what you wish for. So don't say I'm enjoying my own company too much.
No, but you know, with love, I think it is that you can't seek it. You can't go around looking for it. मुझे किसी ने बहुत साल पहले कहा था कि you can't do this and wait for the bird to come.
Right.
You know कि आप ढूंढते रहो, किसी को आप पकड़ नहीं सकते. You can't catch a bird.
Correct.
You just be open to the idea. Bird will come and
the bird will come and sit.
So
Rumi said, what you are seeking is seeking you.
Exactly, totally.
What is it like being a director and also a producer now in today's Hindi film industry?
I think for independent films, and I'm not even saying in films, for independent thinking, it's always difficult. Whether you're in India or you're elsewhere or wherever. Here more so I feel, because I feel economics interferes with art a lot more. you know, so वो जगह नहीं है, वो इतना बड़ा वो sea of Bollywood है और whatever Tollywood and all the films, तो उसमें वो अपनी जगह बनाना, and especially for someone like me जिसमें perception इतना भारी भरकम, in the sense, you know, because they don't know me, I've been on the periphery of it, I don't have a PR.
लोग क्या बोलते हैं, मैडम आप बहुत ज़्यादा अकल वाली फिल्म क्यों बना रहे थे?
You know these you make these arty films, these serious films that I know it's high content, it's great idea, but you know a lot of people don't watch it. They don't want to watch it. You know, people want light films, yeah. They want funny films. Why don't you make a comedy? And I'd love to make a comedy.
You would?
But who would give me a comedy? And that doesn't have to be mindless. Comedy is just, we all laugh, yeah. We all love to laugh, and you know it's a great way of telling a story.
Yeah.
But it'll depend.
You can direct a comedy?
Absolutely. I mean, why not?
You can write a comedy?
I can write a comedy.
अरे वाह,
अरे वाह, सीरियस भी कर सकती है और कॉमेडी भी कर सकती हैं.
सही है यार, ये तो
मतलब आप पैंट भी पहन सकती हैं, सलवार भी पहन सकती हैं, ये कैसे हो सकता है? आप एक्टिंग भी करती हैं और डायरेक्शन भी कर सकती हैं. हमारे यहाँ सब कुछ इतना बाइनरी है ना कि हर चीज इट्स दिस और दैट. लाइक मुझे अभी भी ऐसे बहुत सारे रोल्स आते हैं कि आप ये रोल कर लेंगी ना, आपकी पूरी इमेज चेंज हो जाएगी. बिकॉज इन देयर माइंड दे थिंक ये ऐसी ट्रैजेक्टरी को जान के थोड़ी करना चाहेगा. मस्ट बी सावर और ग्रेप्स. Maybe she didn't get the roles, or maybe you know कुछ एक गड़बड़ है. मतलब how can somebody want this? Like people still ask me कि आपने commercial film में क्यों नहीं की? सब actors ने किया है. स्मिता पाटिल, शबाना आजमी, नसीरुद्दीन शाह, पूरी ये सब बड़ पॉइंट तो है. और जो कर सकते हैं उनको मुबारक. मतलब मेरे ऐसे जैसे तबू हैं, कोंकणा हैं, विद्या हैं, इतनी अच्छी एक्ट्रेस, इतना अच्छा काम करती हैं, उन्होंने भी दोनों किया है एंड बखूबी किया है. एंड आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ एडमिरेशन फॉर दोज हु कैन. भाई मुझसे नहीं होता है.
नहीं होता है
ये नहीं होता है that you know like lot of people tell me, मेरे दोस्त भी कहते हैं, नाम नहीं लूंगी, but कि यार कर लिया करो, just you have to lose your just घर पे दिमाग छोड़ के आया करो
और अच्छा दिखना है.
हाँ, पर अच्छा दिखना is a lot of work.
कोई दूसरा करेगा ना यार.
नहीं, पर क्यों? और इतने सारे अच्छे अच्छे काम है जिंदगी में करने के लिए. मुझे भी अच्छा दिखना है, लेकिन 11वीं चीज है on my list of things. There are 10 things that I want to do before I invest time, energy, money into looking good.
Your next film, Zwigato.
Zwigato, a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah, it's quite a unique name.
Yes.
I can see how.
It's a fictional name. जो एक दिन मैंने ऐसे ही बना लिया. रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी के बारे में है, like you know, and this gig economy जो which is making our life so much easier in many ways, and we are so dependent on it. गाड़ी आ रहा है, खाना आ रहा है, चीज आ रही है, हम कितनी चीजें मंगाने लग गए हैं ना कि अभी कौन जाएगा दुकान में, गाड़ी कहाँ पार्क करोगे, just order in. ऑर्डर में सस्ता मिल रहा है, इसमें ये डील होता है, मतलब ऑल दिस, और हमें पता ही नहीं है कौन लोग हैं, इनकी क्या जिंदगी है. यू डोंट नो दैट पर्सन एट ऑल. यू एंड योर मोबाइल, आप इसी गैजेट में आपकी पूरी दुनिया है. यू नो somebody is tracking you. You have the anxiety of rating and incentives. Every day you're being judged. Imagine if you were rated every day. And it's not just a criticism of the app, because we also need those things, right? कपिल मुझे हमेशा कहते हैं कि मेरी तो मतलब जिंदगी की जर्नी है घर से स्टूडियो, स्टूडियो से घर. पर अब मैं इतने सारे फूड डिलीवरी राइडर्स को नोटिस करने लगा हूँ. यू नो, अब जब वो आते हैं तो मैं उनको थैंक यू बोलता हूँ. मतलब हम सोचते नहीं हैं छोटी छोटी चीज़ों के बारे में. यू नो, वी टिप ज़्यादा दे देते हैं. So those kind of things.
I always ask for water and I always ask for chai.
Right.
But I'm still a little wary of letting someone enter
Absolutely.
my house.
It's fair enough, and we don't have to be. We are not here. We don't have to be over, like you know, trying overcompensate करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. But just treat each other as human beings.
You have worked with the finest A grade actors from the A grade space of arts, like Paresh Rawal, Nasir Saab. Everybody's been working with you in your projects.
And Nawaz. You know,
you could have easily had a Nawaz or a Manoj Bajpayee or a Vijay Raj in this movie.
Right.
How come? What a casting coup it is in a way.
No, actually,
that makes this film very unique because of the casting.
True, I guess more so now that I've made it and I realize people's reactions. जब मैंने किया तब मुझे इतना नहीं पता था. मेरे घर में तो टीवी भी नहीं है, आपको दिख ही रहा है.
You don't have a TV at home?
I don't have a TV. From the time I lived here, in the sense. From the time I got out of my marriage, it's been like 6 years now, or no, 7, and I haven't had a TV. And sometimes maybe जब बेटे के साथ होते तो sports वोट्स अभी वो कंप्यूटर पे देखना पड़ रहा है. लेकिन
life is okay without TV?
Absolutely. I think what you don't have, you don't miss it. more importantly, like you were asking about the casting, yes, there are many other good actors and who would have fit the role, whether it's Pankaj Tripathi or Nawaz or Manoj, and it's not that I didn't ask them. You know, I did.
Oh, you did.
I did, yes. I mean, many were busy because this was COVID time. I actually wrote it for 2 other actors, but it kept changing, their dates, my schedule, all of that kept changing, so nahi hua. And I was just sitting and surfing something, and suddenly this video popped up of Karan Johar and Kapil Sharma presenting some award function. I don't remember it now, but कुछ एक था और उसमें वो बहुत ही natural type लग रहे थे और वो सारे jokes एक ordinary person के कर रहे थे. I saw कि आदमी ऐसे ordinary man के jokes कर रहा है and it's still sounding very credible, even though he's not ordinary anymore. But you believe him. So I just found his number. Even my casting guy was saying, "Are you crazy? Like, why would he do it? And why would you want him? He's not right for it." And I was like, "Just trust me. I just think he looks the part." Like एक बार मैंने कहा कि अच्छा इस पे आपको respond करना है. He said, मुझे तो सिर्फ laughter पे respond करने की आदत है. I said, अच्छा. I said, यहाँ कोई canned laughter नहीं है, real laughter नहीं है, कोई laughter नहीं है.
सामने लिखा हुआ था applause, तो समझने लगते हैं.
हाँ. You know, तो अभी सिंधु पाजी अभी हंसने नहीं वाले हैं. You know, that kind of a thing. जब दो लोग without judgment मिले, तो उनके points of commonalities खुद ब खुद बाहर आते हैं.
कयामत आती है.
बिल्कुल. And I think वो हमारा एक connection बन गया.
Her house is a beautiful reflection of her work and personality, decorated with books and plants. I didn't want to come back. And when you have been twice a jury at Cannes and traveled the world in search of good cinema, you surely know how to keep the guests engaged. We had a great time. Anyway, moving on the other side of this break is a singer who has taken India to the Golden Globes, Natu singer Kaala Bhairava, talking about the song's Oscar nomination and singing for Junior NTR. Welcome back to Now Showing. The song Natu from the film RRR got an Oscar nomination in the Best Original Song category. Remember, the song has been winning all the major awards in the West, the other big one being the Golden Globe Award. My colleague Vishal Chatkara spoke to the singer of the song, Kaala Bhairava, about the Oscar nomination, praises from James Cameron for the song, and why is Kaala Bhairava the most preferred singing voice of Junior NTR.
పొలంగట్టు దుమ్ములోన పోట్ల గిత్త దూకినట్టు పొలేరమ్మ జాతరలో పోతరాజు ఊగినట్టు నాటు 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 వీర నాటు 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 విచ్చు కత్తిలాగా వెర్రి నాటు.
Kaala, first, congratulations are in order for the big Oscar nomination for your song Natu, which is nominated in the Best Original Song category. Were you able to sleep last night? How you celebrated the big nomination with family?
With family. So whenever we have, joyous moments like this, it's always with family we celebrate, and we all come together and stay in one place, and we just share our happiness together. So that's how it was last night too.
A Golden Globe win, a Critics' Choice Award, and now this big Oscar nomination. You of course were there when in LA when Globes were announced. How was the experience of attending the Globes for you?
It was I wasn't there at the event at the Golden Globes. Actually, I attended the Critics' Choice Awards and the LA Film Critics Circle Awards. I wasn't there at the Golden Globes, but to answer to your question, to be there personally, and to get the opportunity to actually absorb the reactions Americans were giving for the love they were showing for the movie and for the song Natu, and it was just it was very, very overwhelming, Jay, because this was something frankly, to be honest, we never imagined. The kind of reception it's getting, and it's been getting since months now, and it's something we never imagined. And it was just a pleasure to watch them cheering for a few high moments in the scenes, and cheering for the characters, and shouting, dancing to the songs, and the amount of praise and love they're showing, it was just too much. It was very, very overwhelming.
You of course have interacted with a lot of stalwarts from Hollywood and the press there.
Yeah.
Do you now know what is it about this song that actually established a connection with the audiences in the West?
I feel, Ji, to be honest, not just Natu Natu, any song which they connect to, like from world music, apart from the pop culture, apart from the Hollywood, apart
Yeah.
from the Western American and UK songs, I feel they knowingly or unknowingly they connect to the originality and the nativity of that particular song. So when it comes to Natu Natu, I feel it is a very, 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 a native, bounded to nativity kind of a song where the characters, where the culture is shown, reflected in every aspect of the song, be it the lyric or be it the composition, be it the scale in which the song was composed. So I feel even if the song sounds alien to a few Westerners, it is the originality and it is the nativity to which they connect ultimately.
Did you also get a chance to meet and talk to James Cameron? He of course praised film music at Critics' Choice Award.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the chance because it was it was such a blurry moment for all of us. And then I just stood there. I just stood behind. I was just enjoying the moment, watching Baba and Nana, talk with James sir. And yeah, as I said, those are moments where they're so exciting that you actually it becomes very blurry and you don't remember the details of what happened. It all happened so fast.
Did you also share a close bond with NTR Jr., especially
Yeah,
after Natu Natu? Do you
yeah.
think you are his most preferred singing voice on screen?
Funny thing is, even before Natu Natu, I've actually sung another song for him for
Yeah,
his one of his previous movies. The song is titled Peniviti. So that was a chart buster. That was one of the biggest hits of the year in
yeah,
2018.
yeah.
So even back then, when that song was released, everyone, each and everyone, all his fans and all the movie lovers, everyone were, very strongly opinionated that my singing, my voice matched his face perfectly. Like it is so apt. It was almost as if he himself was singing the song on the
Oh,
screen.
wow.
So I was actually pleasantly surprised because when it comes to listening to my own voice on the screen, I can't so strongly judge my voice because it's too much of myself to see where I can't judge it clearly. So yeah, and the same thing happened with RRR, where I actually sang two songs. G,
Yeah.
one is Natu Natu and another one Komuram Bhimudo, which he sings in the second half of the movie in the very intense situation. So the same thing, the same kind of response I got because they were everyone felt that it is so perfectly matching his himself that it's as if he himself was actually singing that song. So even again, I was surprised because everyone's feeling, but because it's my voice, maybe I'm not able to feel so strongly like I do with other voices. కొమురం భీముడో కొమురం భీముడో కొర్రాసు నెగడోలే మండాలి కొడుకో మండాలి కొడుకో కొమురం భీముడో కొమురం భీముడో రగరాగా సూరీడై రగలాలి కొడుకో రగలాలి కొడుకో.
With that, it's a close. You know, Meryl Streep once said, take your broken heart and turn it into art. There is no emotion in the world that goes waste. Even a tear, that salty water, may be the reason why you fill someone's life with laughter. Be happy, because as Dalai Lama also said, the purpose of our lives is to be happy. I'm Atika Farooqui. Come see me again next week. Till then, goodbye.